We are rolling.
Good morning. Welcome back to the conversation. This is Midlife Crisis Activities. This is our lifestyles and pop culture webcast, our daily shout out to the world. I'm your host, Patrick Russell, and over there is my very vivacious producer, Veronica. Together, we're here to lend our voices to the noise from a multi-generational perspective to help explain everything that's right and wrong in this world. Happy Thunder Thursday to you, Veronica. Funny story out of the textile manufacturing industry. New Balance, the Shoemaker, is finding itself facing a class action lawsuit against 5 consumers who believe that they've been swindled by the Shoemaker, who have been mislabeling their products. The Made in America label tag. Now, the Made in America label tag actually has very special rules attached to it, Veronica. You may know this. The FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, is the government agency that polices the use of this label. And why is that important, Veronica, you might ask? Well, research has shown that, without a doubt, most people prefer locally made products. And the research even goes on further to say that up to 60% of those that were asked would be willing to pay a premium on the same product, even as much as 10% over the same type of generic brand, right? Let's say the competitor.
Question, does that count when we give work to people out of the country, but we still use our name on clothes and stuff like that? Because why not? I do prefer things made in America.
Made locally.
Locally, because they support businesses, blah, blah, blah. But also, in the other hand, if I'm the one giving work to other people out of the country, but and then using my name, is that considered the same?
Well, and that's where it gets hazy, because the rule does suggest and give a loophole, Veronica. What it is that it says you can use the tag Made in America so long as any foreign components or foreign parts are negligible. They use that word negligible. And we know that you could fudge that word quite a bit. And guess what? In the textile manufacturing industry, that's exactly what's happening. Most people, most companies, and textile companies will have some type of vendor or relationship with outside foreign businesses, even if they are using the tag Made in America, and they simply just justify it by giving it a low percentage. In fact, New Balance goes so far as to say, in defending itself, wait a minute, we have a tag in all of our shoes that say that we have at least 30% of our product is made out of the United States, but that's 70%, which includes essentially a few big factories, right? And potentially thousands of employees. So it's not that they don't have a footprint in America. But what they're suggesting is that they have a big enough footprint in America that meets the definition of negligible foreign components. And you have not just New Balance, but you've had many other American businesses, to include Pottery Barn. Pottery Barn has actually been brought up on charges from the FTC and gotten hemmed up to a tune of $1 million in penalties because they were found to have been selling products and mislabeling them Made in America when they were actually being shipped in from overseas. So,
you know, my thing is that we are so smart. People in the U.S. are so smart that now we're using words to cover things. You just said it's enough. It's enough.
That's exactly what it is.
70% it's made here, and then 30% that's it in China or whatever, right? So we think that that's just because it's enough. It's fine for us to call it Made in America. So I think that those are just words that we like to use just to pretend. But let's face it, we all need each other countries, because it's cheaper. I mean, you're not going to pay someone in the U.S. $15 per set in California wage, right? Than someone in China or in the middle of nowhere, $2.
Well, my final note is this, is that I think as global consumers, now we've gotten an eye for quality no matter where it comes from. Shoot, high fashion comes from Taiwan, Vietnam. Let's face it, some of your nicer stuff, if you look inside the label, you'll find that it's going to be coming from Cambodia. You know what I mean? Including Nikes. And so you do have a situation where you have most companies are going to be skirting that line quite a bit. So reading the rules, did you know that each penalty for each mislabeled product could come up with a fine of $43,000. Can you imagine that? So each one of those particular sales, which is what I think happened with Pottery Barn, right? Their $1 million penalty probably came from successive sales.
Did that go through? Did that actually happen?
That did actually happen. So now we're just seeing what will legally transpire against New Balance against this new class action suit. But it's not the first time that companies have fallen into hot water with the FTC over its mislabeling and misuse of that Made in America label. Now, once again, I mean, unless you're talking about lawnmowers, you know, your jigsaw saw, or your favorite pair of Wranglers, I'm not sure if the Made in America tag has the same pull and influence that it may have had in the 80s and 90s. I mean, anybody can see quality coming from places like France,
Mexico,
Dubai, Hong Kong. These are, I mean, cars, you know what I mean? These are all things that you find quality in other places of the world, and it doesn't have anything to do with the United States.
My last point, too, is that we're doing a lot of videos, obviously, as you guys can see, and a lot of people that I know, they actually hiring video creators or maybe someone to edit their videos out of the state, out of the country.
Oh, that happens all the time. Yeah, Mexico is really building up a industry over that.
Yeah, so, I mean, everyone is looking for the best deal, and then if in other country you can find someone that can do it cheaper, even better, I mean, why not?
Yeah, as we turn into, like you said, a global economy where Amazon can basically ship anything from anywhere in less than 72 hours, we don't necessarily have the same connection and vibe with the Made to America brand as we once did. I mean, shoot, look at K-pop and K-movies. You know what I mean? So quality can be found all over the world, guys. And I think more and more of the younger generation are seeing products in such a way. Guys, there's no right answer, there's no wrong answer, but there definitely is your opinion. Please don't just subscribe to this channel, even though we will be doing this back and forth on a daily basis. But please, lend your voice to the show. It'll make it a whole lot more fun. Guys, it doesn't matter what comes your way today. It doesn't matter what obstacles or challenges that you may face. You just need to remember one thing. Give them hell. Happy Thunder Thursday, everybody.